in talking to many government agencies, we would have expected it to actually impact it a little bit more heavily than I think it really has. When you talk to the federal data strategy team, really they've only pushed 3 of the action items out about a month on the federal data strategy actions, the 20 actions that they need to get done before the end of FY20 or 2020, calendar year 2020. And I think that what we're seeing is that people are starting to realize that they can focus on COVID data or data priorities that that are, can you edit that out? Yeah, focus on data strategies that are relative to COVID 2020. You know what, I think it's matured for sure. I think what people are trying to do now is just get their arms around the data that they currently have and all the different silos that are out there. They're going out and they're inventorying their data, and they're doing a pretty good job, I think, of doing that data inventory. In fact, I think 75% of the agencies thought that they'd be done with that initial inventory for their data catalogs this calendar year, which is great. That's really the first step in any data maturity model. And so I do think that, you know, from where we were this time last year, it's huge that there's been many steps and many things done to get down that maturity model to the second phase of it. There are several challenges. Obviously, the data silos that exist, mainly because of how we collected data over the years historically. If you think about how we built applications and collected that data, it just lended itself to silos. That data was very application or mission specific to a single group of people, and data wasn't shared very readily between the different groups. And so the silos that exist, the data duplication that exists, the lack of the ability to understand what the authoritative data sources are, is a real challenge. And actually having the skill set to be able to build, for example, a single data lake, or to be able to share that data across different missions is a real challenge. And I think those are the things today that as agencies walk through the data maturity model, that they'll be able to solve. It's not a one size shoe fits all, and it's absolutely not a moment in time. It's definitely a journey. And I think that they're starting down that path right now. And so I think if we look at the challenges that we had in the past with data storage, you know, data is in these silos and it's stored in a variety of places, a lot of times not in the cloud, on legacy systems. And I think one of the things that the cloud brings us is the ability to store large data sets, in fact, almost infinite size data sets at pennies on the dollar to what we had to do before. Before, agencies would have to go out and purchase all the hardware and equipment to store this, right, to store this information, and it was a very expensive proposition. Now you have the ability to put these large data sets in the cloud, right, and then be able to manipulate them using cloud-based services for artificial intelligence and machine learning. To do that in the past, you would have had to go to Department of Energy or somebody that had a supercomputer to actually run those types of queries on those types of large data sets. And so what we're seeing is that now people have the ability through the cloud and through the ability to run these large models on pennies on the dollar and as a commodity. And so it's actually democratizing our ability to do the large scale data analytics that so many people wanted to do in the past. And so at the core of that is data. Without data, you can't run a model, you can't gain valuable insights. And so data really is probably the most important piece of the puzzle, and cloud really enables the collection of it and the ability to run AI models on top of it.